Ankita, tell us, what were the big mistakes you made early on as an international student job seeker?
Just applying online, not creating that network, plus just focusing on my grades but not on the extracurricular that will make a differentiation on my resume. So those are the top two ones that comes to my head right now.
And early on, what were the ways that people kind of told you to find jobs when you first arrived as a student?
I think in MBA, you are mostly pushed to go and talk to others and like bring that connection, that networking in. But just because the culture is so different in India versus United States, and when you are in India, that is part of your job. You generally go out and network with people. You talk to people. As a community, we are knit that ways. We did see the value when we came to United States. That how will that make a difference? You know
Hmm.
what difference it'll create is how many applications you have put online, or you know how many jobs you have applied to at the end of the day. But actually that was the difference thing. Like imagine the kind of connection you can make in United States that has a far reach of somebody giving you a referral or somebody telling you that internal job opening that just happened in their company or in their team, versus you applying to a portal that is getting 10,000 to 5,000 applications in a day.
You're right. Yeah. One of the biggest mistakes I see new students make is just applying online, thinking the more apps, the better. But you're totally right. My friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Chine Coaching, we're all about helping you thrive and succeed in your cross-cultural journey, especially your job search, internships, full-time jobs. I know the job market's really tough right now with the recession, economy, and layoffs. And this video is going to help you crack open into that job market and get job offers. And we got an awesome guest, Ankita. So Ankita, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ankita Mishra. I'm a senior product manager at Microsoft in Enterprise Cloud team. So I work with enterprises to make their admin solutions better during mergers and acquisitions. I was born in Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh, and then I did most of my primary education in Kanpur, Chandigarh, and all over India. And then I came for my master's to United States in 2016 to do my MBA and MIS from University of Arizona, Ella College of Management.
Awesome. So we're excited to learn from your job search journey. And friends, stay tuned to the very end because we're going to talk about some tips, especially that's going to help you during all these recession layoffs. So stay tuned for that. So we mentioned your mistakes. Now let's talk about the strategy that really worked. You got some great internships there as a student doing your MBA. So go ahead and tell us, what was that strategy that really paid off to help you get that internship during your MBA?
Yeah, fabulous question. I think we came in 2016, and right off the bat, as soon as we started our master's in business administration in August, we were told, okay, it's September, you should start looking for your first internship, which will start in May of 2017. Now, imagine this is a totally new country. You don't know anyone, you don't have any connections, and you have to find a job in such a different and diverse market. I think, like I said, right, the first mistake that I made in the month of September was just applying online. And then it was just not me, but my friends too. And we saw nothing was working, right? Then we spoke to a lot of professors, we spoke to our seniors. Rishabh was one of them. And then we got to know that there is value in networking, in building that communication channel so that you can get the insider information, or you can know about what are the internships coming and so coming. And there was this career fair. So career fair is another great way to explore this networking channel and build those bonds or those relationships. So there was this National Black Career Fair, which as an MBA school, we used to go together. All my cohort, we signed up for that. We went together. And there I got my first internship in May of 2017, where I went to was Nationwide Insurance in Columbus, Ohio. And I remember I went to their booth, and there were like already 50 people there. I was just myself, and I was very confident, like, what I'm bringing to the table, what I want from an internship. And out of my entire batch, which was around 40 to 45 students who attended that, I was a single one to score an internship from that particular career fair. So I think the kind of communication, what I really want, the drive, and what am I looking for from an employer really worked out.
That's really cool to hear that you got it from a career fair, which led to that offer for the internship. What was maybe helpful for getting that initial job interview, do you think?
I think just making that personal connection. I remember, like, when people are standing in the booth, right? At the end of the day, they are people, right? When
Mhm.
people and students go there, they have one thing in mind that, hey, I want this job. But as a person, I try to, and you know this, Rob, very well. When I talk to people, I try to make that personal connection. I just don't come here and do my things, but I also want to have that personal level connection. Hey, how's your family? What's happening? So when I went to that booth, I think you should have that sticky factor that a particular employer will remember you. Like imagine yourself, right? I just imagine if I'm standing on that booth and I'm meeting like 500 students in a day, what students will stand out? Since I had just come to America 2 months ago, I did not have a lot on my resume, truthfully speaking. It was all my India level experience, which is, by the way, not that much recognized in America. You have to
Mm-mm.
start fresh, right? The industry is different, the customer is different, the language is different, the way of doing business is different. So, what I could do right in that moment was to make that connection. And Nationwide was having a party, I remember that for that night. And everybody told me, like all the seniors, that if you're invited to that party, you have a get better chance because you'll meet more employers there
Mm.
to get that internship. So I already knew while going to the booth that there's this party that I need to get invited to. And when I went to that person, I started making connection. I was like, "How long are you working? How is it? Working there?" And I remember the person was a middle-aged man, and I was just connecting with him on like how Nationwide is, how his life changed before working there, and I asked him a lot of questions as much as he asked me. So I think that kind of stuck. And by the end of the conversation, he's like, You know what? I would love to talk to you more. And I know I would love to introduce you to my team. Why don't you come tonight to so and so event that we are hosting?" And I was like, yeah, that is amazing. And then when
Hmm.
I went there, I started meeting more people and I got literally like 3 offers that night. And I was the person who was selecting which team I will join as an intern.
That's awesome. I love it. You're so right. That's so important about standing out. And that comes from making those personal connections, asking really good questions, and really caring about someone as a person, not just a means to an end. So I love your example. Do you ever wake up on a Monday morning and dread heading out the door? Or even worse, don't even have a job to go to on Monday? If you've ever thought about creating innovative apps, or designing stunning websites, or engineering systems to help businesses function, I want to tell you about an amazing platform that will make that process so much easier for you. Meet Careerist, our fantastic video sponsor. Careerist is a learning platform. With their interactive and immersive courses, they can help you connect the dots from your now and your exciting future. Even if you don't have any experience in tech, Careerist will teach you everything you need to know and help you land a well-paid job in one of the happiest professions in the US. With classes both in manual and automated quality assurance, sales and systems engineering, UX design, and so much more. Careerist will teach you all the skills that you need to enter into an in-demand field of your choice. Careerist is the best place to start your career in tech because 1, you'll attend live classes, but you can also catch the recordings after each lesson. You'll get one-on-one guidance from a personal mentor, internship opportunities to practice what you've learned, and support at all stages of the program until you achieve victory. For Careerist graduates, the average time to get a job in tech is 2 to 4 months if you follow the job search instructions. Use the discount code ROBCHAI to get 10% off when you try out Careerist today. We'll have links above and in the video description to help you get started in upgrading your career today. And one thing that you've already mentioned multiple times that I want to talk more about now is networking. Why is networking important? And how did you learn? What are ways that people can network as an international student doing their higher studies?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think growing up, I'll take a step back and I'll see how networking was introduced in my life.
Mhm.
My father worked as a marketing lead in a government company in India, and he is a great extrovert. So whenever we used to go to any parties, he used to make sure that he used to talk to everyone. He used to make those networks. And sooner or later, as I grew up, I saw him. Like if we used to travel to any city for work or for leisure, and he used to make one call, and things used to happen. And I
Mm.
always asked him this question: that people in every city in India, how's that possible? And he told me that you have to make that bonds, that relationships, because you never know what will happen. And that is something that got stuck with me. And when I came to
Mm.
America, where I knew no one, because I feel when you're in India, you have that backing of your family, which is pretty strong. Like you have lived in India, Rob.
Yeah.
And your family is there with you through thick and thin. Like if you call them at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I used to do that with my father, and he was there for me, right? When I came
Mhm.
here, I was just left in like a deep pool, and I had to swim my way through up, right? So I learned that as a child, and especially moving different cities, because my father was in a government job, so we used to live in different cities, and I had to make friends every time I move into a city. So as I grew up, I always knew that I would be thrown in a situation where I had to figure out my way. And the best thing is you cannot do it alone. You have to go network, build that community, build that sponsorship. A sponsor is a person that will talk about you when you're not there in the room, right? That will bring you that job, that offer, that internship. So I think, answering, coming back to your question, I feel I learned it in a hard way, because when I came to America, my entire focus was getting a job and everybody was applying online. But then later, I realized, after speaking with professors, after speaking with seniors, that networking is the key. And once I utilized it in September, so September was the time I went to this National Black Career Fair. I got my internship and I was like, this is magic, this works. And that is what I did during my internship in May of 2017. I got a full time from Nationwide, but then that same year I went to Grace Hopper. I got, again, I networked in the Microsoft booth. I got a Microsoft internship round one, I would say, because Microsoft took like 7 rounds, and then made my way through up, answered. I mean, it did not come easy. It was not just like connecting with people and networking,
Yeah.
but I mean, it pays off at different level. I'm just gonna say that if you keep trying, it pays off. But
Yeah.
before I end that, I also want to make a quick note to the audience. People over here or people anywhere will come to know if you're just networking to get that job, or you really mean, like, you want to have that conversation or build that relationship. So
Hmm.
if you're doing networking, please do it wholeheartedly, I would say, because I mean, it shows off. I get certain requests on LinkedIn which are very different from the people who are trying to make that connection.
Yeah, people can tell whether it's on LinkedIn or in person, whether it's, real or fake, or what the motives are. And I loved how you mentioned GHC, Grace Hopper Celebration Conference. Any kind of a great tech conference, industry conference, those are amazing opportunities to network, meet professionals, get interviews. So I highly recommend spend time researching those. Go do those things rather than just sitting at home and applying online. And my friends, if you are learning a lot, hit that like button to say cheers and thank you to Ankita for telling her story here. And our check question for you guys is, what other job search questions do you have? I know job search can be overwhelming here in America, so let us know in the comments. Drop a message in the comment chat. Tell us, what are your job search questions? We want to answer those in the comments or make other videos to address those things as well. So Ankita, you've gotten some amazing internships that definitely came from networking. And then tell us now, how did you convert your internship into your full-time job offers for after graduation?
Yeah, that's amazing question, Rob, again, because I keep getting that. I know there are various interns that intern in a company. So I've worked at Nationwide and then I've worked at Microsoft. Both are amazing companies at their particular level. And I would say that as an intern, again, you have to do something different. You have to stand out to get that full time offer. And it's not easy. It's not that if you've got the internship, you will get a full time offer. At both the places, I had people who did not receive that full time offer, right? So I think what I did was, I'll say top three things again, was number one, building that relationship. You need those sponsors, right? Because such decisions, in India, in America, in any country that you work, it doesn't reside with one person. There will be multiple people in the room. I can speak about Microsoft because that was the internship I actually accepted the full time for. And I know that when the decision, so as soon as I entered, I got to know who's who. I wanted to build a relationship with not just my team, my product managers, my senior product managers, but also with my engineering team, my engineering lead, right? So I used to, it was a 3 month internship, and I used to make sure that every day on lunch, I used to go with a new person, right? I used to learn something from them. That was just my, if I cannot, if, because if sometimes you are like too overwhelmed, there's a lot of work. Okay, 5 days in a week, you can do 3 days with three different people. Just go in lunch, learn about their journey, learn about them. Two things happen with that. You will learn something new at the end of that hour. And second, that person will feel good about sharing their knowledge, right? So you have just made a connection right there, right?
Yeah,
I
the
used to do,
best advice I give people doing internships is never eat lunch alone.
yes.
If you eat your lunch alone, you've wasted a huge opportunity. So I love how you mentioned how at least, a few times a week, you specifically prioritize getting people over your lunch break, and so many awesome connections come from that.
Yes. Second, every intern has a wild card, and that wild card is you can approach anyone in the company
Hmm.
through your internal channel. We had Teams, and ask them for 15 minutes. So what I did was, you won't believe, I used to approach people at Rajesh Jha level, who was like running the entire office, right? So I used to approach him and I met Rajesh. I talked to him, I spoke to him, he gave me his 15 minutes. And there will be people saying no, of course, because their accounts or their teams is managed by their secretaries, but you can still try. And out of maybe 50 or 25 people that you try, one person will say yes. And that's an amazing shot because you will get to meet somebody higher up. And then you can
Mm,
come back and tell your manager that, hey, you know what? I just spoke to so and so in the company. And that person will be like, wow, how did you do that? And that there shows that passion inside you, that, you're not
mm.
just like constricted to this particular team. You want to expand and know what the leadership is thinking in a company, right? So that is what I did. That is my second best step. The third one is, of course, do your job, because that is where it shows, right? Build, just not building relationships, but also whatever is given. Ask a lot of questions. It might be intimidating, but deliver what you have been given. There is no
Mm.
easy way through. Like when I got a single project, my name was on that project even as an intern, and I had to make sure, even if I used to work extra hours because I was new, I did not know the technology. I knew that I had this time frame, and I backtracked that if my last day is so and so, I should have my presentation on so and so date. So do
Mhm.
that math and then try to deliver, because I think more than anything sticking, your hard work will stick when you show that smart work or hard work, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I was just hanging out with a friend yesterday who was telling me how his one of his internship projects like became one of the most new useful tools in the company, and like
Wow.
people in different teams in this company were like begging for him to come work for the full time just cuz him and a couple of interns made something that actually mattered. It
Yes.
wasn't just some kind of fluffy project that to keep the interns happy, but like they made something and everyone's like, "Whoa, this is so impactful. We really need this guy." And so I think, yeah, I love how you mentioned, yeah, do your work, add value, make the most of that summer or several weeks or couple months,
Right.
and people are going to want more of that value that you can offer.
Yes.
All right, so let's reward those who've stayed tuned to the very end. And what are ways people can level up and really kind of position themselves to have success during all these recession layoffs going off right now?
Yeah, it's just a hard time for the tech industry. So I'm so sorry if anybody personally or somebody they know has gone through this. But I feel this time is a great opportunity to learn. Something that I have been doing is I've been putting, of course, extra detailing and you know hard work towards my work, whatever I'm doing. But I'm also trying to up level on my skills, like what is new in the market, what is coming up. Like, for example, today's world, AI, right? Artificial intelligence. Microsoft has big plans to apply AI to every level, every team,
Hmm.
right? And in the future, every team will have that AI aspect. They've acquired ChatGPT, for example. So just understanding where exactly the industry is moving and trying to do some certifications there. And when I say certifications, I really vouch for free certifications, because I believe so much information is free online today, whether it's YouTube,
Yeah.
whether it's LinkedIn Learning, whether it's any platform, any blog that you pick up, right? You don't have to pay for anything. So when I say learning, just pick up that one thing that the industry, whatever job you are doing, is moving towards, and try to keep learning, right? Because I feel this won't stay for long. It happens every 8 to 10 years. But as it becomes better, you should be at a position that you already know well above than all the rest people who are there in the job market that time. And something that I would also like to add is, like, use your networks again. Try to, if you have been on the receiving end of this particular layoff session that happened in multiple companies, just reach out to your friends, build that network, use your network, because I know there are so many things happening in different groups itself, right? People are helping different people that they know or their friends know. There's a revolving list that's happening in LinkedIn. If you're within Microsoft, there's a list that is going on within Microsoft, and I'm sure that's the same for Amazon, Meta, Google, etc. But just like try to reach out to as many people as possible. I feel there is some kind of bias that we all have as humans, because I know some people who did get laid off but were not putting it up on LinkedIn. I just feel once you put yourself out there, there'll be so many people that will be willing to help you. So don't shy away, because this can happen with anyone at any point in their life. So just reach out and use those contacts.
I love it. Ankita, this has been incredible. Friends, if you want to learn more things like this, as Ankita has been sharing, we have an entire playlist on the Chine Coaching YouTube channel for CPT and OPT stories. People telling their stories on how to get internships and full-time jobs, learn from their lessons, their wisdom, and they'll guide you in the right direction, just like Ankita. Just a friendly reminder to check out Careerist if you need help in your job search. We are super picky about who we let sponsor our videos, but Careerist is an approved Chine Coaching partner. The next batch of classes is starting soon, and with most programs executed in less than 6 months, you'll be on your way to landing a great salary before you know it. Click the link to try out Careers today and use the promo code ROBCHAI for a 10% discount. So Ankita, thank you so much. This has been incredible. I've learned a lot. I know this is going to motivate and help a lot of people as well.
Thank you, Rob. It's always a pleasure to come to Chine Coaching and share the valuable insights. Thank you for calling me again. And thank you to everyone who's listening. If you have any questions, please write them down below on Rob's account, and please like and subscribe. He has an amazing channel.
Thank you. And we're going to be making another video with Ankita as well, where she's going to talk about her story on pivoting from an engineering background into tech and product management. So check that out. It's going to be an awesome, especially if you've been wrestling with whether to change or pivot industries yourself. This video might help you out. Be sure to connect with us online on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn. Ankita is also very active there. You'll get some more great advice. So go connect with her on LinkedIn, follow her on Instagram. You can be subscribed to our Chine Coaching e-newsletter. I know Ankita also has a great blog website. We'll have links to all these things. Thanks so much for being part of the Chine Coaching community. We'll love having you guys tune to these videos, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, everybody.